And welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now, more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Now, 1,000+ shows, and we continue on, folks. And my guest today, I tell you, what a story when it comes to conservation, when it comes to management, when it comes to running an outfit. He is no doubt the man. And a lot of you have been asking, requesting, demanding that we put him on the bench. It's about time, and we have heard you, because the last time he was here was before the last election. Imagine that. And he was very optimistic about the future of Kenya. Let's ask him today how he feels about that. I tell you, the outfit he runs, Kenya Wildlife Services, turnover this year, 3.8 billion shillings. Compare that to the Narok County Council, which commands the entire Masai Mara ecosystem, 2 billion shillings. And the two are not related. Does that make sense? We need to talk about this, folks, because this man knows how to run systems. He was a university professor for a long time before he went to the Investment Promotion Center. Now he is literally, simply, just the director. Julius Kipng'tich, KWS. Director. Great to see you.
Thank you.
You're a young man. I mean, you are my age, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
And you've done some amazing things, man. It's fantastic, because when you were first appointed to KWS, that place was a non-performing parastatal. I mean, it was in a mess, wasn't it?
I don't like revisiting that period.
Because it's painful.
It's painful.
Yes.
Because can you imagine when you go to an organization, there's no organization structure, there's no salary structure. When you call a management meeting and say, I want top management, 23 guys show up. And then tell, hey,
yeah.
You know.
I said top.
An organization,
yes.
When you say top, it's usually around 5, 6 people. Now 23 guys show up and, okay, hey, hold on. So you realize immediately there's no structure. And then people doing the same job, and they had a salary difference of 100,000. Because I was told in the past, you just go to the director's office, and then when you reach there, if he likes your face, you get a pay rise. If he doesn't like it, because there was a situation where the chief internal auditor went to the boss and complained about something. Then when the guy left, he was one rank down. So
just for pointing something out.
Yes. So the guy now was traumatized. The organization was really traumatized. And then, of course, in the field, people had learned how to survive. When people kept money, wardens kept money somewhere, just for a rainy day, because in the past, there were situations where they went for 6 months without money coming in. So things were tough. So, of course, and then we were constantly in the press for the wrong reasons. And I'm sure it's you coming from the media, you used to see us all in for the wrong things.
Yes.
Yet, if you look at what is the single most identifying object about Kenya globally, it is wildlife.
Correct.
So I told the staff from the outset that if something happens to this organization, it affects Kenya's image globally. So we were Kenya, and we still are Kenya. I mean, brand Kenya has confirmed that the single most identifying object globally for Kenya is wildlife. Number 2 is athletes.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, Director, because are our animals in danger right now? And I'm talking about everything from the wildebeest in the Masai Mara to the lion population. Are they in danger?
The pressure globally for illegal trade in wildlife and wildlife products is going up. If you look at, say, rhino horn, okay, a country like South Africa last year lost 340 rhinos. It's a record. To poaching, because previous to that they used to lose 4, 5, 10, you know, and it shot up. Why? Criminals just moved to a country which was vulnerable. So globally, trade in endangered species, which is illegal, is going up. But we are lucky as Kenya because we have put in place the necessary security measures. And what Kenyans normally see at the airport is from neighboring countries.
Those aren't our ivory.
No, that's not our ivory. And it has been confirmed scientifically through DNA analysis. It doesn't mean that elephants are not killed in Kenya. They are. But in quantities which we can control. Because if you look at the average for the last 5 years, The average has been between 50 and 70
a year.
a year. And we are the ones who can account for our animals in Kenya to the last animal. No other country can do that. So for us, we are very proud that our numbers are going up. I arrived in KWS when there were 28,000 elephants. Today, we are proudly talking about that 7,000, a 9,000 increase. I arrived there when we had barely 600 rhinos. Now we have close to 1,000. So numbers are going up. And so I can tell Kenyans with certainty that all species are going up. Some are struggling. And a very good example of a struggling population are the lions. Why are lions struggling? It's because they are the king of the jungle. And they require a lot more space for breeding, for hunting, and that space is diminishing very fast. What's the cause of it? Kenya's population. Kenya's population is increasing at the rate of 1 million every year. So in the last 6-7 years I've been at KWS, there are 7 more million people on the same space, which is finite. So the animals are feeling squeezed.
Yes.
And that's going to be our challenge going forward. If we don't manage our population and the attendant risks that come with huge populations where employment is low, incomes are low, and so people look at then wildlife as either a source of livelihood or a source of food. And that is what is going to be our challenge. So what we have done as KWS is strengthened our systems to be able to respond. But you can only stretch that system to a certain limit. Yeah. So we need to then look at much broader picture of how we settle our people. So I'm glad that with the new constitution,